Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. I got another battle box for you. This is mission number 95 from January. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Here I am today with mission number 95, and I gotta tell you, this is another one that has some stuff in here that makes me go bink. They're still the best subscription box out there. So let's get right into this. There's 4 tiers with battle boxes. I've told you all along. There's the basic box, the advanced box, the pro box, and the pro plus. The basic box starts out at $34.99 and it goes to the advanced at $64.99. The pro box is $119.99 and the pro plus knife of the month is $169.99. And as you'll see here, the values on these are really, really well. Which, you know, I'll mention that this particular mission brief doesn't give us the retail values of these, which is okay, because always there's more bang for your buck. So I want to get right off into this here and get this covered for you. So the first thing in the basic box this month is called Aqua Tabs, and these are, everybody knows what these are, or if you don't, I'm just going to tell you, these are great to have around for water purification. They're very portable, they're easy to move, easy to use, and this particular bottle has 100 tabs, and they are the 397 milligram version. One tablet will do about a gallon of water. And you just don't want it to be turd water full of, junk. So you want to, pre-filter it through a bandana or even a sock or whatever you got. And then you drop your tab in there, let it sit for about 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes time, you got purified water. And it does go after bacteria, excuse me, and even viruses. So, this is a great ad that is put in this basic box. And 100 tabs. Excuse me. That's something else I've been dealing with. So 100 tabs will do 100 gallons. That's a lot of water. All right, so the second item in here, which really had everybody stoked here, is from Wooks. Wooks has been involved with BattlBox now for at least a couple years. But this happens to be the all-in-one tactical gear cleaner. Comes with a very, very gentle brush. Comes with how many ounces of this? It doesn't say. Let me see. Maybe here somewhere. 8 ounces. 8 ounces of their tactical all-in-one gear cleaner. And what is neat about this stuff is that it is like none other than you've ever seen before. When you use this, I'm doing this for a reason. You can clean off anything. Doesn't have to be tactical, but I mean, you can clean off anything. This is a knife that I really love, and it cleans all parts with ease. Now, after you do that, and you have a knife like a 1095 or 1075 or anything that is susceptible to rust, you need to put a protectant. For us, it's Bush Butter. Bush Butter does a great job on anything that's steel, that's leather, that's marble. I don't care what it is. Bush Butter will do the job. Then once you do that, it's the done deal, and you can use this on firearms, long guns, sidearms, knives, tools, anything that has grime on it. You can use it with the brush and the cleaner, and then they give you a microfiber towel also to clean all your stuff off with. And it's often asked, especially in the beginner classes, what's the most important thing to learn about gear? It's not so much what gear you buy, but a big part of the success of your gear is going to be how you maintain it. This allows you to maintain it in such a way that it's hassle-free. What I really like about this is not only the performance of the product, but it's the lack of smell. You can't smell anything. And I think I've told you before that I'd been out before that I've suspected quite possibly the solvent that I had used on a firearm, a shotgun, had spooked a deer. I saw it from about 50 yards away, getting close, coming in, looked really relaxed. Then all of a sudden, bink, the ears went up, and I knew that I was scent free. The ears went up and started looking, and boom, bolted off. So, you know, I talked to some other people. They said, "Hey, what kind of cleaner are you using for your shotgun?" And I talked to them about it, and they said, "Good chance that spooked them." You won't have that happen with the Wooks Tactical Gear Cleaner. So that's a great ad also that you want. And on the inside of the box is also a 20% off your next order, which I've told you before, you got to consider these as a part of your bargain with BattlBox. And I'm sure that we're going to go out and get some of this because I really like how it works. I use it on everything that I've tried. Okay, I did knives, a couple knives with this, and I did a crossbow with this. And it doesn't take very much either, you know. So the last item is from Camel Corps. It's called the Chamois Bundle. And I've taught for years, you know, it's great to go to the automotive store, buy a big chamois and cut it up in small pieces to use in your kits. And now this company comes out with these chamois that are kind of a camouflage pattern. And these are wonderful. Okay, now I've seen them before. I have friends that have these and that use them and try to get me to buy into it, you know, and I never did because I had the chamois. But now that I got them, I can see the difference in these, and they dry off quick. They wick a lot of water away and absorb it, and then you just squeeze it out, let it hang just for a little bit, and it's going to dry out, and you can use it all over again. Not only do you use it on your gear, but you can use it on yourself, you know, to be able to dry off. They get 3 different sizes of these here. Let me see here. If it tells me that actually what time they are, it absorbs and holds over 15 times its weight. All right, let's just talk about this. In this one here, you get 2 towels that is 14 by 10 inches. So you see how big those are, right? 14 by 10. And then this one here, let me see, I want to talk to you about this towel. This is a 27 by 10 inch towel that we haven't really opened. And it comes with a carabiner on it, so you can hang it out, you know, in the back of your pack when you're walking out, or hang it up on a line somewhere, on a ridge line. But this would be great for wiping yourself off. And then the one that I'm really looking forward to trying out, because I've never seen one like this. This is, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to open this right now. It comes with these 2 sponges. And I'm stoked to see how these perform, because you're always looking for something to be able to clean your gear out, to wipe your gear out. One of the things that I do in my nesting cup, I have a nesting cup, and I put a stainless steel single wall bottle down inside of it. And on the bottom of that, I usually put on the bottom of the bottle, I will put a cutout of a pad, like a scouring pad, and I use the maroon ones mostly, but they don't really dry anything out. So what I'm looking for is a way to be able to clean like a pan, or even that, you know, the cup or whatever that I have, and this is going to help me to not only clean it out, but it's going to help to dry it out, and you just squeeze it out, and it's good to go. So that is your basic box for the month of January. And again, the price on this is $34.99. All right, we're going to move off to the advanced box. And this is one that has several guys on our crew that were arguing, were wanting to take a look at it, wanting to borrow it, wanting to take it out. And I haven't let it out of my sight because I know what would happen if I did. I've never had one of these in my possession, but I have several colleagues that do. This is called the Bone Dry Rust Prevention Handgun Case 2.0. That's a lot of words right there to tell you that this is the baddest thing on the planet when it comes to saving your firearm, your sidearm. If you happen to drop it in the water, if it gets rained on, not only a firearm, but also any type of blade, whether it is a small axe, hatchet, a folder, fixed knife, or whatever. You put it inside of here, close it up, and this has absorbent materials that draws all the moisture out of that firearm or those blades that you put in here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store some blades in here, ones that really like to rust up on me. And I am confident from what other people have tried to tell me. They've been trying to get me to buy them, and it's just that I haven't had time to find them. Well, now I got this, and I'm going to test it out, and I will find out just how successful this is. But according to them, you cannot beat these for rescuing a wet firearm. That is a great ad right there, and you can tell that it's quality made, right? One of the things that it does say here that I wanted to share with you is that this product right here can dry and protect those items from rust. Again, I want to emphasize it. You don't have to dry it off, because you know if you try to dry off a sidearm that's been dropped in the water or that has been rained on, you've had it out in an AO somewhere, or you're just out shooting somewhere and you get it wet. No matter how you dry off the inside, you still have to take it, you have to break down your weapon, and you have to field service it as soon as possible to keep the rust from starting. With this right here, all you do is just dry off the outside of it and then throw it up in here and zip it up and let it set, and it's going to do its job for you. So the advanced box is $64.99. You not only get this item, the bone dry gun case, handgun case, but you also get the basic box. So that is a great ad, and one that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Now this takes us to the Pro Box, which is $119.99, and you get one item in this, and this comes from Climate. It's called the Wild Aspen 2.0 sleeping bag, this right here. I was going to open it up and show you what it looks like open, but Curran 1776 has done that on his channel, and anytime Curran does that, I just go ahead and bow to his expertise, because he does a great job in explaining it. But what I can tell you is this, is that, you know, a lot of people will go out and they'll buy a sleeping bag, and they'll often buy a sleeping bag, you know, during the summertime because they're a little bit cheaper. And the most available ones out there at that time are the winter sleeping bags, you know, that are down to around 0 or below, which really suck trying to use those during the other 3 seasons of the year because you'll just be too stinking hot. Well, in comes the Climate Aspen 20. This is a 3-season bag. It's very light for its size. This is the regular size, and it's 74 by 30 inches, and it's down to 20 degrees. And I have found that whenever any company, I don't care who it is, even custom-made bags, when they tell you it goes down to X, I always roll it back. So on a bag like this, I would say it would probably be keeping you warm without a problem, 25 to 30 degrees instead of the 20 degrees. It's water repellent, and what I like about this, it is a synthetic bag. You hear so much about the goose down bags, and they're wonderful until they get wet, and now you've got just a wet ass blanket, excuse me, a wet ass blanket that's going to be on you and keeping you cold. That's just all it's going to do. Synthetic bags, they dry out from the heat of your body, and they go very quickly. So if you happen to get wet or it gets soaked for some reason, it will dry out, but it also keeps you warm while it is yet wet. 2.5 pounds for a bag this size is pretty stinking light. So that's your Pro Box. Comes in at $119.99. That leaves us with the Pro Plus Knife of the Month, and this month it's a folder from Spyderco, and this knife has been looked at, handled, put back, opened up, fought over. My guys have been wanting to buy this knife and wanting it for a gift and wanting me to do a drawing for everybody, but I am not going to do that. And the reason is because this is a very peculiar knife from Spyderco, different than from anything we've ever seen, especially through BattlBox. But this happens to be the Spyderco Resilience, lightweight. And when they say lightweight, they are not kidding. And that is because it is the scales are made out of a very, very tough FRN that is probably a third of the weight of a G10 scales, micarta, whatever else you might put on there. I mean, this thing is like a featherweight knife, and it is super, super sexy, man. I mean, I like this knife. It's always sharp. Anything from Spyderco is going to come out of the box where you can actually shave with it there. You can't see my hand from that far away, but it is now naked in that area. The steel on this is 8CR13 MOV. It's got a full flat grind on it. This happens to be the serrated edge. Of course, you know, I always say I'm not a big serrated edge guy, but I can tell you right now, this is going to do the job if you need a serrated blade. It's very, very nice. And I think that quite possibly that some of you are going to get just a regular blade without the serration on those. I think they sent out some of each. I'm not sure. Overall length on this dude is 9.4 inches, so it is a perfect length. And when you fold it up like so, it closes at 5.2 inches. And again, you know, compared to this guy that I've been carrying around for a long, long time, this is half the weight of this CRKT M21 OG, half the weight at least. And I am confident that I can do just about everything that I can do with this. Now, the reason I say just about everything, I do not trust very many folding knives to baton with. I've learned to trust this guy. It's very, very tough. And the more I look at this, the more that I am going to want to know how this performs when it's batoned, you know, in processing firewood. I know some of you cringe at that, but to me, if I'm going to have a pocket knife, that's why I've got this guy right here in my pocket, is that if I'm going to have a folder in my pocket, carrying it out into the woods, I got to have confidence that if something happens to my fixed blade or my secondary blade, I'm always going to turn to this as my third level of protection. And there's no doubt, because I've done it. I've batoned with this. I've done everything that I need to do. So with that being said, I think that this is going to be able to do the same thing. It's not quite as heavy, but the way that the blade is made, the flat grind, I think I'm going to be able to do everything with this that I can do with this CRKT. So that is a great ad. It's a sexy looking knife. I know a lot of people really love Spyderco. You know, it's a one-handed operation. Comes open, you can shut it, put it back. It's just a great little knife, man. And I am impressed with these scales. I am. Now, as I've told you before, if I feel like a scale is going to be a little bit hot in my hands, if I even suspect it, then I will take a little bit of sandpaper and I will, like 320, and I will just go ahead and rub that out a little bit just to soften those high ridges up. So, BattlBox, bingo. Another Spyderco champion knife. Great job. So, get out there to battlebox.com and check that out. And if you haven't yet, and you've got some young people in your family, check out the Wanlow box. Everybody that I know that has purchased one of those for their kids has wrote me back and said, thank you very much for the suggestion, right? So you want to try that. Now, if you happen to be watching this as a BattlBox subscriber already, and you have the mission brief, right down here on the bottom, it gives you a code where you get 20% off your first Wanlow box. So you might want to try that. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. That's Mission Brief 95 for the month of January. All kinds of nice gear in there. I didn't mention it, so I'm going to mention it right now. The Pro Box or the Pro Plus box rather, is $169.99. And when you add everything up like this, usually you're between $275 and $300 in gear. It's always a bargain and always quality stuff inside these boxes. So till next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.